Hey everyone, Nate from MGN. We're at the beautiful new facility here at West Ottawa. AD Bill Kennedy took me a little bit of a tour through here before. We actually haven't been here yet now in the third year this stadium opened, but got a chance today to get here and check out the great media day that MLive helps put on. All the teams come through. We had a chance to talk to the Grandville Bulldogs and plenty other teams from around the West Michigan area, teams that you're going to be seeing throughout the year on, of course, our Grandville Bulldogs coverage, but also our West Shore Game of the Week coverage, playoff coverage, and everything else along the way as well. So put together a little bit now of a compilation of some of the interviews with coaches and players throughout the day that we had here at West Ottawa, getting ready for this 2024 season. All right, Grandville head coach Eric Stiegel entering his 10th season. 11th season. Now, I knew I was going to do that wrong, too, and I knew it was 11th.
That's all right.
But regardless, It's been a while.
Yes.
This team, though, I think this is a unique group in terms of you've kind of been building a couple 2 and 3 year players. Obviously, you know, you see that with underclassmen moving up, with you know, second year seniors as well. Tell us a little bit about the expectation kind of coming into this season with this group that's been together for so long.
Well, this is a great team. I mean, in terms of, I'm not just talking about talent and ability, but really, really solid group of kids. It's a group that I love being around every day. Like, I have fun. We've had, you know, our team camps going on right now. I love being around these guys. It's fun pushing them. They want to be pushed. Like you said, we've had some kids that have been 2-3 year guys on varsity, and I think that helps. We also have some new guys that are coming up. And again, you know, this group's had a lot of success. 8-3 last year, you know, 7-win teams the previous 2 years. So these guys have had a lot of success, and you know, they just want to keep pushing. And I think that they want to be pushed. You know, and I want to push them and see where this team goes, because again, for me, I tell these guys, like, there's pressure on us, but that's a privilege. You know, we want that pressure on us. And I told them, you know, there's pressure on me to push these guys as hard as I can to get them. You know, we want to maximize this group and get them as far as they can. Yeah, and we'll have a chance kind of to do our normal interview in a little bit as well, where we go position by position. But I think one of the big stories of this team is on the defensive side of the ball. Casey Zenner, really well accomplished new defensive coordinator. Tell us a little bit about him, the changes he's making, and what you're expecting out of the defensive side of the ball this year. Number one, I mean, I think just a great person. I mean, he just in authentic enthusiasm through the roof. I mean, he's a guy that's played for some great head coaches, and Coach Munger at Rockford, and then also Tony Neese at Ferris State. He's coached at, you know, the Division II level, the Division I level the past, 3-4 years at Western Michigan, coached with Coach Espo there. You know, brings a lot of knowledge, but I think what he really brings is he's going to bring, you know, some of the toughness and fundamentals that I think we really need. And I think you're going to see a defense out there that's attacking, that is going to be a great tackling defense, and that's going to play with, you know, I think his authentic enthusiasm, and I think the kids have gravitated him, the coaching staff has gravitated to him, and he's just been an outstanding addition.
Other side of the ball, there's returners all over offensively. But the one interesting thing, I think, is at the running back position. Obviously, you've got the Terry kid first and foremost. But there's a group of returners, and there's a group of young guys, I think, as well. And I think even some underclassmen may be coming up that are interesting. So tell us, going into camp, about that mix at the running back position.
You know, they've had, you know, we're kind of in the midst of our team camp right now. It's going to go through Wednesday. And I think we came out of that first practice, or that first team camp practice on Sunday night, and we were like, wow, these running backs were not just great with the ball, but they all were faking, blocking, and we came out when they played fast. Obviously, Jaden Terry gets a ton of attention, but then you look back, and you got Ethan Sadinsky, who had big games for us last year. You know, you have Braylon Haney, who's a hammer. You have Reed Graverson, who's played in there. And then I think you start to look at, you know, Jeremiah Morales, who played in the playoff game for us. We look at a couple new guys coming up. You know, Miguel Rojas has played fullback for us. He, you know, great kick returner last year, defensive starter for us. He's seen some time there at the running back. And we got 2 sophomores that are also getting some looks at. DJ Hardiman at fullback for us. You know, he's a tough kid. And then Gavin Love, whose brother was Marcel Love.
A name we know.
I think, you know, Marcel scored about close to 40 touchdowns for us, you know. So, you know, you get a Terry and Love in the backfield. You know, that's a good thing. Both those guys are sophomores. And, you know, I might even be forgetting some guys that are there. But we got a deep group there. And they're all going to push each other. And as much as, you know, Jaden Terry rightly and deservingly so gets a lot of the, you know, praise for being a great runner, he's a great blocker. He fakes his butt off, and I think that sets the tone for this group. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an exciting year. We'll have plenty more chances to talk going ahead, but thank you as always for your time. All right, thank you very much. Go Dogs.
All right, go Dogs. All right, Grandville, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, but as well, Jay Weiss, entering his 3rd season now with the Bulldogs, and you've been here through this build up with this team over the past couple years into this really experienced senior laden group and multiple year junior group that you guys have this year? I guess tell us a little bit about first your excitement coming into this season, how the team's working, and kind of the mindset as you come into your senior season.
Yeah, I mean, we're all really hyped. This is my senior year. I want it to be my best year. Obviously, we're going to try to go as far as we can in the playoffs. We want to beat everyone we play. It's been a long time coming. I've been on varsity for 3 years now. I got my first start in the playoffs against Caledonia my sophomore year. Started all last year. It was a bit rough with some key players getting hurt, but this year we're hoping to keep everyone healthy and to really have a good run.
Yeah, and you say that obviously having been on the team multiple years and all that experience, how much more special does it make it when so many of those guys also along with you are 2 and 3, 4 year seniors as well? Like, to be able to keep that same group together is a pretty special thing you guys have been able to do.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I want to shout out my guard. I mean, Brett Becker. Me and him have been side by side since kindergarten. We've been playing varsity together for 3 years now. I mean, that kind of bond is something you just can't match.
No, absolutely. I think this season, there's going to be some expectation on the year, I think, because of the group that's together. I guess tell us, a bit about this year and the team going into team camp, some of the goals, where the thought process is that way. I think the OK Red is going to be somehow tougher than ever this year with the coaches and the talent that's come in. But where do you think the mindset is in terms of goals and so forth as you guys head into camp?
Really, we're all just kind of focused on ourselves. Come week 1, that's when we start thinking about our opponents. But for now, we just got to perfect what we need to get done and really learn our plays, learn our defense, learn all our schemes. And after that, we can start worrying about who we have to play. All
right, sounds good. Can't wait. Week 1, the long road trip down to Ohio to start the season. We'll be there. Can't wait to see you and the rest of the team there. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Craig Tibbe, longtime head coach, the only head coach in the history of Unity Christian's football program, now joining MGN, and also now a recent inductee in the Michigan High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame. I guess let's start there, Coach. Tell us a little bit about that honor and what that means to you.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool honor. It wasn't really what I expected. I didn't realize something like that was going to happen, but to be able to represent all the players and coaches from our program, kind of a big deal when you start to think about it that way, and so we had a fun time. It was a really cool deal for our whole staff. So really appreciate it.
Yeah, this season, coming off a year where you guys missed the playoffs, which of course is incredibly rare for your program. Tell us about coming into this season, kind of the expectations, the goals, and where you guys are feeling in terms of getting back to that typical level of success, and also entering a really tough conference as well.
Yeah, no, I mentioned that earlier. We play our conference is tough, with what we have, and then we play some non-conference teams that are going to really challenge us as well. So right now, yeah, we'd love to get back to the playoffs, and we'd like to get some wins, but we got to focus on one game here and let's go from there, because we learned quickly the last year that things can happen and not always go the way you want. And kids played hard last year. It just didn't always work out for us, and so we're hoping we can turn that around.
You can kind of tell us just kind of surface level, offensively, defensively, who are some of the key players, stepping into those big roles in the T and defensively for this year?
Yeah, we have, for us, our linemen up front. They got to take care of things for us, and so got Hunter Grassman as a senior, and I'm looking for him to be a big leader for us. Smart, athletic kid, works his tail off. Not, size-wise, you wouldn't look at him and say, "Wow, there's an offensive lineman," but boy, he works hard. And I'm gonna need him to do some leading of some young guys. And then Jaden Fless is a guy who I'm pretty excited to see what he can do. I think he has potential to maybe do some college stuff if he really wants, and I've tried to encourage him to just know that you can get after this, along with some other guys next to these seniors. Sean Vaynerswag, we're moving him to some O-line. He's got to step up, and so starting up front, and then in the backfield we got Jack DeHoop. We had a chance to play some QB for us last year due to an injury. And so unfortunate for one side, you don't always ever want to see that, but it helped him preparing a little bit for this year. Steenstra and Viss both in the backfield again. Vancouvering back in the backfield. So offensively, we're going to lean on those guys a little bit. Defensively, man, some of those same names, right? That's who we are. But we're hoping we can have some other guys step up, and DeVries is going to be a guy who we're going to look to as well. He played with us last year, so he needs to play like a senior, even though he's a junior, and I hope he knows that. So, yeah, there's some of those guys there.
All right, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time. Going to be an exciting team. I know we'll see at least once or twice here on MGN
sounds good.
on this season. So
appreciate
thank you for
your work. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
We are Centennial Securities,
an independent firm with a team of committed professionals
who strive to exceed our clients' expectations by giving outstanding service.
We're proud to be part of our community where we live and work.
Gear up this season with the MGN Shop, featuring everything from t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats and outerwear, to water bottles, stickers, and other accessories that help show off your style and your support of Game Night, the Grandville Bulldogs, and more. To shop, click on the Shop Merch tab at the top of MichiganGameNight.com and browse nearly 50 items. And be sure to check in frequently as new items are added throughout the season. That's the MGN Shop through MichiganGameNight.com.
Upgrade to Music Jams Premium to get uninterrupted listening on all your favorite tunes. Click here to start your 7-day free trial.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising. Which is why with Farmers, you don't have to compromise quality to get great savings on your insurance. I got this.
We are Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Game Night is presented in part by Farmers Insurance, Bennett Center Agency, for all auto, home, specialty, life, and commercial insurance. See what a center can do for you. All right, head coach Cody Cater enters his third season at the helm of the Reeths Puffer program this year. And I mean, you guys have been a really impressive build-up, I think, over the last couple of years. This year, though, you know, some changes, I think, in terms of some of the big names, but also some solid pieces coming back. I guess let's start kind of on a general level with this year's team, kind of some of the goals and how you're feeling heading into camp with a little bit different group this year.
Yeah, I appreciate you kind of shouting us out and giving us this opportunity and, you know, talking about the build-up. I think our boys have really bought in, and they've done a great job of, you know, showing up day by day. You know, the pieces that we lost were obviously huge names, you know, in our community and within the area and so to speak. So we're really excited about these group of boys, though. They've known me since their sophomore year, and so the program and the depths of our conversation, our depths of our conversations within the program have really changed, you know, because there's just norms put in place and standards put in place. So we're excited about these group of guys. A new quarterback, new running back, new wide receiver, new all of those, but we bring a strong offensive line back, and we bring a defensive line back that, you know, has played a lot of games and important games the last couple of years. So, you know, we're excited to kind of see what they can do as the season goes on and as they grow.
Yeah, let's kind of dig in a little bit. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Take us through some of the guys at those skill position up front as well that you expect to be big contributors this season.
So the skill guys, Mason Dark will start at quarterback, and then Bryce Muscovin, he was up on the JV as a freshman last year. He'll play running back, and Connor McManus, who's also a sophomore. So Bryce and him are both sophomores. They'll be on the outside, or he'll be on the outside as a wide receiver. But Ethan Muscovin will start at slot, and and Sage Seacrest will start at an H-back. So Ethan and Sage have played in different roles throughout the last 2 years. They've been up since sophomores, and they've done a great job, but there's been maybe out of the limelight, so to speak, and now they get an opportunity to kind of maybe be in the limelight and have their name, I guess just in the papers or in the news a little bit more often than maybe they've had before because of the vacancies that we have this year compared to years previous. So we're really excited about those guys and kind of what they can do because we think they're special. They're our boys. They work hard, and they're just tough, gritty kids. So we're excited to kind of see where that takes us.
Yeah, and let's kind of flip it, defensive side of the ball. Same question, some of the guys that we can expect to be the key contributors there.
Yeah, so the skill guys, the key contributors there. We have all of our linebackers coming back from last year, so we're excited about that. We think Sage Seacrest again, Elliot Schneider, Sam Hillen, Cal Millis, all of those guys, those linebackers is a strong core. They're all returning. Both of our safeties are returning, and Ethan Muscovin and Lucas Johnson. We're going to have to, find, and then Sean Haley as well. So we're going to have to find some corners, and then defensive line and offensive line. Though we returned 4 guys up front on the offensive line, and then defensive line we returned 2 guys. So we're excited to kind of be able to use that and have that first year that I'll have true experience, in some of those positions. But we all know the game's one up front, so we're gonna weigh heavy on those guys.
Okay, let's kind of wrap things up. Let's look at your schedule this year because, the conference changes, and if it wasn't tough enough already, you welcome in Byron Center. But then, the likes of Forest Hill Central, Caledonia is scheduled as well. Tell us about, the importance you think of a tough schedule, and then also, kind of how you think things will line up throughout that schedule.
Well, I think if you look anywhere around of our, our conference or, in our area, everyone's playing someone. Yeah. So the people that are in our conference, we have to go play someone week 1, week 2 to get ourselves ready for the conference. So we, the last couple of years, we maybe didn't have that opportunity, as much as maybe these other programs. So we thought it was really important to go find some heavy hitters and go play these programs. I think our community is wanting to know what that looks like as well, and wants to feel, the things that I guess that they're getting their hands onto these other programs. So I'm really excited to kind of see where that falls out. But yeah, we're opening up with Forest Hill Central, and obviously everyone knows that about those guys. They've been a really tough program the last few years. Coming off of that Division III state championship, and then we got Caledonia, who's had same story. The last 4 or 5 years have been really, really, a tough matchup for everyone. And then we get into Spring Lake, which is a great community matchup, and they've been in the playoffs. So, and then we get into our conference, which is obviously, difficult.
Yeah, right.
For a lot of, for a lot of programs. But we know that's going to prepare us if we want to make a true run. We've got to go through a gauntlet like that, and I think we all in that conference, believe in that.
All right, Coach. Thank you for your time. We'll see Reeths Puffer when they take on Muskegon that week with our West Shore Game of the Week coverage.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, Josh Lucas enters his first season coming back over to the west side of the state. Started your career at Allegan, at Chelsea. Of course, longtime MGN listeners know that you and your teams have made one appearance on our network before, and that was that wild state championship game against Unity Christian when your Chelsea team took the state championship. And just, we always say, I think it's still the greatest football game I've ever watched.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
But regardless, coming in to Jenison, coming into the tough OK Red, tell us about kind of starting with this program, where things are at, kind of some goals, and how what the feeling around the program is coming into camp.
Yeah, I think right now the excitement is there, obviously, but like I tell everybody, we haven't played a game yet. So, the excitement's great. Our numbers are great. I think we're up 7-12. We're up to 235 kids playing football. We're last year was 165, 170. So, kids are excited about it. We got a bunch of kids back in the boat who didn't play last year. Some really good players when they were freshmen and sophomores that decided it wasn't for them, and now they're back in the boat. So, things like that. In terms of goals, we're just trying to worry about us. Yep. We're not talking about anybody but us, and just trying to get better each and every day. And then that was the same mindset we had in Chelsea. We didn't really worry about our opponents. We just kind of had to take care of our own business and let Friday nights take care of themselves. And at the end of the day, the kids got to make the plays on Friday nights. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to build a culture and a program from the ground up. And, I feel like everyone's bought in and everyone's done a great job. Our kids, our percents of kids that were here all summer were in the upper 80s. So kids are bought in. But, yeah, we open up with Kalamazoo Central, and that's kind of our main focus now. I just told the kids our summer stuff is done, and now our focus is Kalamazoo Central. But there's a lot of little things, the learning curve of the new systems, new offense, new defense, just trying to know the kids for a lot of our guys, new coaches that came in, trying to get to know them. That was a big push again here in January, to try to hit the ground running, and we did a great job of recruiting our own hallways and getting those kids that didn't play and getting some kids that maybe haven't played to come out and try football. And it's the greatest game God created, and it's the ultimate team game. So we want as many guys as we can. It's hard to be successful in football when you only got 20 guys, 25 guys out there like we had the last couple of years. So, we'll open the season with mid to upper 40s with our varsity roster. So that's a great start. But we got a lot of work to do, and we're excited about that work. And our kids have bought in, and they put in a lot of work this summer, and we're just ready for August 12th, like everybody is this time of year.
Exactly. Let's kind of get into the team a little bit. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Who are going to be some of the key contributors that we can expect?
Yeah, we got a bunch of returners from last year. So we returned 4 offensive linemen that were back. Moved a couple guys. Dylan Gage starting the O-line towards ACL. He's going to be a Y and a linebacker for us, so we're going to get him out of the offensive line. But Micah Young's here today. He's back. He played left guard, left tackle last year. Connor Householder, who's back, looks a little different. He was 270 last year. 235 right now, looks really good. He's back. Skylar Jewett's not here, but he's a starter that's back. Peyton Hollinsworth's not here, but he'll be a starting senior that's back. So we got a bunch of guys up front that are back. Ian Baroness, who's a runner-up in Division II wrestler. He's back. He started last year in O&D line. He's going to predominantly just play defense this year. Chuck Norton's here today, back at receiver, and played some free safety for us. Great athlete, been on the varsity basketball team since he was a sophomore. AJ Park, another one that's back. He's a tight end DN, 3-year varsity baseball player. Eli's here today. Eli Zeitman, our quarterback from last year. He's in a battle right now for the quarterback spot, but he's one of the guys we've been leaning on a lot this summer to kind of lead the team and do all the things necessary to be not only successful as a quarterback, but to be the leader of the team. And Dylan Gage is here. He's off his ACL. And we got a bunch of guys like Will Collarwood, Owen Fleeser, Pearson Kloppy. Those guys are all back in the boat who didn't play last year. All great athletes and guys that are contribute for us right away. So we're excited, man. We got our numbers are great. We need to be a little bit better in some of the areas, but in terms of where we were last year, I feel like we're in a great spot.
Yeah, I know a lot of those names may transfer, and you mentioned as well, but kind of defensively, same questions. Who are some of the guys you're looking for at the different levels?
Yep, so we got Spencer Strelecki's not here, but he's back. He's a starter for us last year. Brody Skytman started as a sophomore. He's, we try to keep this seniors only, so he's going to be a heck of a player for us, but he was a starter that was first last year as a sophomore. Brady Hubbs started as a sophomore last year for us. He'll be a junior. We got the McKinney brothers. We got Cole Bassler. All those guys are kind of fighting for a mix somewhere on the field. We're going to start 22 guys. Good. And so that's a whole new thing for these kids. Now, it doesn't mean everyone's going to play the same, but we're going to start the game with 22 guys and cross-train all these guys so they learn in 2 positions. But at the end of the day, we want to give these kids a great opportunity to play. They work so hard in the summer, and football is the one sport that brings your community together, and we want to give these kids a great opportunity. They get 4 years to play. A lot of them won't play football after this year. And, so we want to make sure they have a great experience. So we want to give every kid an opportunity to play, and it's kind of up to the kid to take advantage of their opportunity that they're given.
Yeah, let's just kind of wrap things up. You mentioned the systems. I mean, Jenison ran some very kind of unique systems. They ran that kind of pistol option with really kind of a 5-2 base on defense. Tell us, what are the systems going to look like a little bit differently this year?
So we're going to be a spread, up-tempo RPO football team on offense where we want to run the ball like everybody does. And kind of take what the defense gives us, and then defense we're running a 4-2-5. So going to be more even-based up front and do some different things on the back end. But we just feel like that's going to give our kids the best opportunity to be successful going to this even front 4-2-5 defense. So I'm just really excited.
Yeah, no, we're all excited to get the season underway. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll see Jenison a couple times this year on Michigan Sports Radio. Some of our different broadcast teams will have them live.
Awesome.
So
thank you.
We thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Carson Viss returns this year for South Christian. Let's actually start off the football field. Let's start on the basketball court. You recently just announced your commitment to Western Michigan on the hardwood. Let's start there and kind of what went into that decision, how excited you are to be able to continue playing sports at the next level.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely excited. Not many people get to do that, so I'm very blessed to have the opportunity to be able to do that. And, I'm very happy that I get to be at Western Michigan. I love it there. I love the coaches. I love the people, and I'm just very excited to get to be down there next year.
This is a team now for South Christian under Coach Brown. You guys are looking for your third straight trip to Ford Field this year. Won a state championship last year, the heartbreaker to Harper Woods in the end, despite your best efforts throwing for like almost 500 yards in that game. Tell us about this team, because you do definitely lose some pieces. You lose Jake from Austin, a bunch of other guys as well, but some of that core continues. Tell us about what the offseason program has been like and how the way last season ended has also kind of fed everybody else and or fed everyone and led things in this offseason program.
Yeah, we definitely lost a lot of key pieces, but you could say that last year we lost a lot of key pieces from the year before, but at South Christian we always find a way. We work hard in the off season, and last year it definitely feeling us. A lot of these people that were juniors on the team that are going to be seniors, they know what that's like now. They know what it's like to go deep in the playoffs, make a run, and get to Ford Field. And that loss, you couldn't make you want to get back there anymore. It's definitely a dream that you get to go there, and we got to do it 2 times in a row, and we hope that we get to do it 3 times here.
Yeah, absolutely. And for your role as the quarterback on this team, tell us about your growth as a player, you think, on and off the field this past offseason. Where have you been putting the work in? Where do you think that you're going to be that much better on the field this season?
This season just working on a lot of just passing in the pocket. Okay. Last year you guys saw me roll out a lot, which definitely we're going to do, and that's going to be a key piece of our offense. But, just trusting my receivers, making a play. And, we got a few Tyler Brinks, as you may know. He's a big tight end for us. He's going to be a big target for us this year. So, just trusting him, getting that connection down with him. And obviously the people coming from JV last year, getting our connection down and just being ready for that. Yeah,
absolutely. This kid, and we saw it on MGN last year, put in one of the most incredible, I'd say probably the most incredible performance despite the loss in the state championship game history. So we thank you for your time and good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right, season number 6 for Danny Brown at the helm of the South Christian Sailor program. You guys now looking for your 3rd straight trip to Ford Field as well. We saw that state championship game on MGN last season. Of course, Michigan Sports Radio has every game for the Sailors covered. Let's kind of get into this year's team from kind of top-level view, though, because you've certainly, of course, lost a lot of critical pieces from last year's team, but a lot of guys, quarterback position, plenty others also returned. Tell us kind of about the mix that you have and the offseason that you guys have had coming into camp.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when you make a run like that, you're going to lose key guys. And whether you make it to the state finals or not, you're always going to lose key guys. Yeah. It's just it's the nature of high school football. And I think the goal is, can you get a couple of your key contributors to come back, which fortunately for us, we have a couple of those positions that, obviously with our quarterback, it's a big staple of how we do things offensively, coming back helps. But then ultimately at the end of the day, you got some juniors or sophomores, depending on, if you have kids pulled up or not, that are role players and fit a need for each team. And now they're going to be either second-year varsity players, seniors, whatever they may be. They're going to have to step up and be the go-to guys this year. And I think it comes down to, can those kids handle that that expectation, and how do they do leading the team, the younger guys below us, because ultimately we're a senior-driven team, and our seniors have to be great for us, on the field, off the field, how they treat their teammates, all that stuff. So we're going to have to count on those guys to fill in those roles and be great at it.
Yeah, let's kind of look at the on-field product a little bit. Let's start on the offensive side. Of course, Carson Viss, who we know what he can do. Of course, on the football field, on the hardwood as well. But he returns. But tell us about the mix of players and some of the guys you're expecting to be key players, including Carson and around him on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, so offensively, the nice thing is we return our center. So like they're going to have that trust and that commonality between the center and quarterback. So that's always good because we're in shotgun. So Cam Veltman coming back for us is going to be good, and he can, make calls and lead that line. Okay. Being a second-year starter, and then Ty Brinks, he didn't play any offense for us last year just because we needed him specifically on defense. We had guys offensively that could fill that void, and I think in his off season he's grown confidently, athletically. He's a big target, so he'll be a key guy for us playing tight end. The biggest thing for him is how well does he block, and I think we've kind of worked on some things in the offseason to get him ready for that. And then we're going to have Owen Burgess coming up as a junior is, he's got the unfortunate situation to fill that void and play that same position that Jake Vermas played for us. And, he's going to, we're never going to expect him to do what Jake did because it was insane what he did last year. But that is a big part of our offense in that position. And so he's going to have to be good for us. And then, we're going to have a couple seniors. They're going to have to play offensive line for us that were just, they were on second string, weren't in the mix, but were there if somebody got hurt or whatever. And those guys are going to have to step in and be good for us offensively. So I think really the big thing we have right now is at running back, we're going to have no experience coming back whatsoever. Any of the guys that we have playing running back for us this year did not get any reps at the varsity level. So.
Okay, yeah. And, I mean, like I said, for me, I'm a Grand Valley grad, very excited that Jake certainly chose to go there. I mean, we saw what he did to go up against a 4-star kid that's going to Michigan, matched up in that state championship game in Odin, and the way that he probably won the matchup. If you look at the numbers, I think that was impressive. The other side of the ball, defensively, kind of the same question. Who are going to be the leading returners and some of the newcomers as well we can expect to see?
Yeah, I think the nice thing for us is, you got Ty coming back, and we put a ton of onus on our outside linebackers. So having a guy that's been through it as a junior, played every game. If he wasn't hurt, he was playing. So that'll be huge. And then our inside linebackers, we pulled up a freshman last year, so he'll be returning starter as a sophomore. Grayson Hunterman, and then Rowan DeCam is going to be another inside linebacker that last year started a little bit slow, but by the end of the year he was starting for us and playing some meaningful minutes. So we kind of got some continuity there in the middle on the back end. And then another one that we got is Charlie DeHaan, or Chuck DeHaan, how we call him. He didn't play for us last year as a junior because of an injury, but he started for us at corner as a sophomore. So the fact that we got him back and healthy and ready to rock, he'll be a big piece of what we do. So, and then we're just gonna have to figure it out up front. We got some guys that got a few snaps last year on defense, but up front we're gonna look a little bit different. We're not gonna have, we had Cam and Salkma for 4 years, big guy, 275, and a couple other big guys, and we might not look as big as the part, as big, but I think we're gonna be feisty, kind of old school type of defense that. Maybe we're not the biggest on the field, but I think we got some guys that love the game of football.
Yeah, that's exciting. Let's wrap it up. Look at the schedule, and in particular, talk a little bit about the conference realignment. What you guys always play such a tough schedule, but this year that, of course, continues to tell us a little bit about the non-conference, and then as well that realigned conference and things maybe getting a touch more difficult to really for everyone. It seems like kind of around the area.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. Part of it's our doing with our non-conference, and part of it's just the realignment and. We're playing a lot of programs that have a ton of good football tradition, so that's exciting. I think, you can say it's tough and all that stuff, but ultimately at the end of the day, like we're a football program that loves to compete. We like to test ourselves against good programs, and I think kids are going to be excited about that, and it's going to be fun to prepare week in and week out for some of the teams we have. We have of our 9 games, 3 of them are opponents we've seen the last 5 or 6 years every year, and then there's 6 of them that. We haven't seen. We did see Unity in playoffs a couple years ago, and we have some ideas of who they are. But there's also opponents we've never played.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be exciting to figure out how those coaching staffs coach, and the kind of kids that we're going to play against, and just the nuances of figuring all that out is going to be a ton of fun. And I don't know. I mean, it is a hard schedule. It's a tough non-conference schedule, and it's a tough conference schedule, but we're just excited about the challenge and excited about trying to get better day in and day out to see what we can do to match up against some of these teams.
No, exactly. I mean, you guys obviously, back to like Harper Woods, they played all D1, D2 teams, and you saw how that prepared them despite having a couple losses on the record. Thank you, as always, for your time. And as I said, every game South Christian plays will be on Michigan Sports Radio. Coach Danny Brown, thank you again, and good luck this season.
Yes, thanks for having me.